you guys doing? We got a really cool video for you guys today. We're gonna be taking a maple slab and turning it into a coffee table. I'm super excited about this. Anybody who knows me knows that I've always wanted to do something with a live edge slab, and I finally got the opportunity, and I'm gonna share that with you guys today. So let's go. So the first stop in the process is picking up a slab, and I went to this place in central PA called Aldifer Lumber, and oh my goodness, do these guys have slabs everywhere, wall to wall, front to back, a whole warehouse full. If you guys want to check this place out, I'll drop a link in the description. So I ended up going with this nice piece of spalted maple for the customer. He wanted that little bit lighter look instead of the walnut I was hoping for, but that's okay. It's gonna be beautiful anyway. So now that it's home, the next step is to cut it to length. A little bit of backstory on this table, guys. The customer is actually a really good friend of mine, and he just moved into his first apartment with a buddy of his, and they need a coffee table. And I was like, hey, I can build you one because I've always wanted to build one of these live edge tables. And he looked at it online and he really liked it. So he said yes, and here we are today. So I'm just taking my circular saw here and smoothing out this one edge so I have a nice accurate measurement to go off of when I cut this thing to length. So if I can give you guys any advice here, make sure you guys have a nice sharp blade on your saw if you're going to do this, because this blade's a little dull and I'm having a little bit of trouble with some kickback. So it's kind of a dangerous situation, but I didn't have any other blades. So I'm just kind of making a few smaller passes to try to get this thing cut all the way through. So all I'm doing right here is just taking some 80 grit with my palm sander and just going over this thing, trying to get out all the little marks from the planer. So we got a little bit of bark on the edges here. It's not too bad. I was debating on whether or not to actually sand this off, but I was like, I kind of want to make that maple pop out, and I'm not sure if that stuff will stay on there over time. Like I said, this is the first time doing this, so a lot of people I've seen, they take this stuff off. So I'm just taking that oscillating sander with the 80 grit again and going around, and it's doing a really good job of taking it off. So and it's kind of helping keep that natural contour. You don't really want to mess with that too much because that's what really makes this thing look really cool and natural. So but it's doing a great job. I had to hand sand in some parts, but other than that, it really worked well. So all I did so far is cut this thing to length and do a quick sand, and this thing is looking really nice. I am super excited to see this thing finished, but first we gotta fill some of those cracks with epoxy. So here I'm just mixing up the epoxy, and I'm giving it a black tint to match the spalting in the maple. The epoxy I'm using is Beast Bond resin and hardener. I got black concentrate dye off of Amazon from Illuminite. I'll spare you the boredom of watching me sand all this down, but once it dried, I just went through and took 60, then 80, then 120, and then 220 sandpaper and made it smooth. After just 2 coats of Minwax tongue oil, this thing was a sight for sore eyes. I love how the colors came out in this maple. Before the clear coat, I took a tack cloth and went over the whole thing to remove any dust. The clear coat I'll be using is Minwax Polyacrylic Clear Satin. I've never used the water-based finishes before, but I like the idea of fast drying time and low odors. Out the legs, I used threaded inserts. And now it's time for the reveal. project was everything I thought it was gonna be and more. I had such a fun time doing this. My friend loved the table. He was so pleased. He wants me to do a couple end tables. I'm gonna be doing a few more projects later on. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss out on any of my projects. That's it for today, guys. Until next time, just do it yourself.